woman, oh black sand, oh black daughter, black essence, black pain, black pain, oh blackness, oh black shadow, oh black girl, oh black queen, oh black pearl, black mother, oh black girl, oh black queen, oh black pearl, black mother, oh black woman, oh black sand, oh black daughter, black essence, black pain, black pain, oh blackness, oh black shadow.
And my name is Danielle Latrice Mann. It's 2 N's. I am 28. Albinism, in layman terms, is basically it's a recessive gene. What causes a person to have albinism is a lack of pigmentation. Your pigment is what gives you skin color, in which mine is lacking. There's different forms of people with albinism. Some people are darker, some people are lighter. Albinism affects the hair, the skin, and the eyes. Yes, it affects the color of the eyes, like, what's the word, maybe like kind of translucent a little bit. Okay. It's kind of, you can see through the iris and, your eye has color to it, but mine is a little bit more fair than usual. As far as the vision, most people that are born with albinism, they're considered legally blind, in which I am legally blind. Sometimes they're green, sometimes they're brown. They tend to change colors.
Your eyes change colors.
Yes.
What's your name?
Michael McGowan. I am the Executive Director of NOAA, the National Organization for Albinism and Hypopigmentation.
You tell me what that is. What is albinism, and then what is the hyperpigmentation?
Albinism is a rare genetic condition that is characterized by a reduction or absence of pigment in the skin, hair, and or eyes. The impact of albinism on the eye is that it creates an uncorrectable low vision. Many people with albinism are legally blind. As Executive Director of NOAA, my job is to lead the organization, and right now what we're trying to do is to convert the organization from a volunteer-based grassroots group to a self-sustaining nonprofit. So what we do, and what I do, is I work with other staff, one other staff member and volunteers to provide information and support to people with albinism and the parents of children with albinism. Our mission is to be a conduit of accurate and authoritative information to the albinism community and to provide opportunities for the albinism community to come together to share information and support. So the kind of things that we do is we have a website, we have webinars, we have a quarterly magazine called Albinism Insight, we sponsor a biennial national conference, we do local regional conferences, we do a family camp, and we provide programs for the newly diagnosed. For example, if a family has a child and the child is diagnosed with albinism and they contact us, if the parent or parents are willing to be contacted by another parent, we have a group of volunteers who are trained to speak with that parent within 24 hours so that they can answer questions and share their experiences. And if that family is willing to give us their name and their contact information, we send them what we call a welcome toolkit, and it's basically like a baby present. So there's a baby blanket and high contrast toys, little baby sunglasses, and a book that Noah has published called Raising a Child with Albinism, A Guide to the Early Years.
One interesting fact about me, I love to play basketball, and I play basketball very well. Since I was maybe 5. Through high school, I played forward. I've always played small forward. Altogether, it's 5 siblings, and out of the 5, 3 of us have albinism. Yes, I have a twin brother. Growing up, I would say from my mother's standpoint, because she really wasn't educated on it back in the 80s, there were probably, there were other kids that were albinos, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. Now you see them everywhere, but we were pretty much labeled from the day we were born. Like, they didn't know how to deal with us as far as the school system, and they would single us out and, just put us in special classes and stuff like that. So it was kind of hard growing up, but we got through it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Pretty much, I'm an easygoing person, so I had a lot of friends growing up, but there was, quite a few kids that didn't understand the reason why I would have to look close or sit in front of the class or have special utensils like magnifiers and CCTVs. We had what was called a visual itinerant, and it's basically a person that comes in and they would educate the class on albinism and our vision. So they would, explain it so everybody would be able to, get a clear understanding of what it is. And she would provide us, like, a lot of my textbooks were all large print. Dictionaries, everything. I would sit, like, right up at the chalkboard so I would, be able to see everything. I have been wearing glasses my whole entire life. Glasses only correct a certain amount, but as far as seeing, I would still have to put something, close up to my face in order for me to see it. Okay. No, I don't drive. Because of my vision, me being legally blind, as far as the Illinois state regulations, you would have to have a certain visual acuity. In order for me to get my license, I would have to wear a special type of glasses with a scope on the lens, in which they would have to train you how to use it, and it's quite expensive. But even with that, my license would still be restricted. So I would probably only have, probably couldn't drive maybe like after 6 o'clock or something like that. So I do know how to drive. I don't have my license. People have taught me how to drive. But having a visual itinerant and just a mother that just always tried to make sure that we were very independent and not relying on anybody, not using our vision as a crutch. We've learned how to use public transportation. So I have no problem hopping on a bus. I got legs, taking the train. Illinois is, as crooked as the state is, they do provide, certain ways for people with disabilities to get around. So I get like free bus rides and train rides and stuff like that. So I take advantage of that. What do I do for a living? I am a prep cook and also a cook at Bar Louie at the Madison Hotel.
So what do you have to do to perform your job?
What do I have to do? I have to do a lot. For the most part, I prep food for the Holiday Inn side and the Bar Louie, the restaurant side. So that entails me slicing, dicing, cooking, sauteing, seasoning, doing everything.
Okay.
And then also on the cooking side, I'm just cooking, cooking to order, whatever comes in on tickets that customers happen to order. And that could be from salads all the way to mussels.
And certainly the offense did not put the defense in very good positions at all today.
My vision does play a part in it. Like I said, there's a lot of things that I have to do that are done by memory for the most part, more so than me seeing it. Even though I do use my eyes on a daily basis, I have to do a lot of slicing and dicing and stuff like that. So being a cook, you're able to maneuver and get as close or as far as you need to in order to cut anything. As far as reading recipes, just about, I would say maybe about 95% of the recipes I have, I know them by heart. So I no longer have to actually look at the recipe. Even if I do have to look at the recipe, it takes me a little bit longer to read the recipe and then go grab what I have to grab because I can't see it from a distance. Mm-hmm. So I would have to pull it closer to my face in order for me to see the words, and then go wherever I need to go to, grab the certain things that I need for that recipe. But cooking is something that I love to do. Since I would say maybe 2005, I've always worked in a restaurant behind the scenes cooking. So it's something I enjoy. No, I don't let my vision get in the way, but I can personally say that because of my vision, as far as employment, a lot of people put that against me or hold that against me before they actually give me an opportunity to show them my skills and what I can actually do in the kitchen. So because of that, a lot of things that I want to do or a lot of things that I want to accomplish, they're kind of pushed to the side because no one is really willing to take that opportunity to give a person that has visual problems an opportunity to show what they can do. So thankfully at my job I have a really good chef that works with me, and I've explained to him and he has no problem. I am his go-to person. So he's always asking me to do this and do that and cook this and show other people and train other people. So he has a lot of trust in me, and that makes me more confident in what I'm doing in the long run. So something I like to do. Good times.
As far as interacting, so you were
As far as interacting up front, I was host. Okay. So I was greeting the guests.
And how did people respond to you when they saw you opening the door? What name one of your most craziest experiences?
One experience that always sticks out to me that I always remember is I forgot what holiday it was, but it was really busy, and one of the customers came in and I sat them at the table and I began to give them their menus, and they kept staring at me. So I kept doing my job, and I went over to another table, and as I'm turning around, I hear the guy say, "We don't want to touch anything that she touched because she looks like a devil, or she looks really weird." And I remember that just hurt my feelings. I did go in the back and cry for a couple seconds, because as an adult, I haven't heard someone speak with that much ignorance since I was younger. So that kind of brought me back to my younger years of people picking on me or treating me different because of the way I look.
Okay, in East Africa, there are beliefs by some witch doctors that the body parts, hair or skin of people with albinism have magical powers. And those witch doctors sell the idea that they can bring prosperity by using body parts to make charms or potions. As a result, people with albinism are essentially hunted. They are maimed or even murdered for those body parts. Noah is not directly involved with providing support or relief, but we lend our support to the political movements in the UN and the European Union and the United States Congress to condemn these crimes as atrocities against humanity and to bring these crimes to light, hopefully to change the attitude. And we support organizations that educate people in East Africa about the fact that these are incorrect beliefs.
What's a funny time? Can you think of a funny experience you had in regards to your albinism? Somebody at the restaurant or a kid saying something or?
Yes. Actually, your daughter. There was a time where I think you were dropping your daughter off at my mother's daycare, and you was like, Sanaa, this is Danielle's mommy. And Sanaa looked at my mother as in, your skin is dark, and she looked at me as in, your skin is white, and she had this puzzled face on her look like, Mommy, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing in the world. My mother and my father are both what I would consider regular complected. They have pigmentation, so my mother is brown skin, my father is a little bit darker than brown skin. So, I forgot the question.
So as African American woman, like when you were younger, growing up, right, and you know the self-image, you see yourself reflected. Did you question it, or was it?
For the most part, my mother always tried to make us feel very comfortable about how we looked. On her part, differences were never made, but still as a young kid going to school with other kids that were able to do everything that you weren't able to do simply because of vision or because of the sunlight or something like that, it was hard. There was a lot of times I didn't like to look in the mirror because I felt like I looked different.
As far as
What I'd like the world to know about albinism is that it's not just a different look. It's not just like having red hair or black hair or brown hair. People with albinism have medical challenges in terms of their eyesight. They have uncorrectable low vision, but emotionally they face the stigma of difference because they look different than their ethnic group or their race. They face that stigma of difference, and what we really want to get out there is that we need to challenge that stigma of difference. Just because someone is tall or short or black or white doesn't make them different. We're all the same. We all belong to the same race, the human race.
I am amazing. I am beautiful. I am talented. I'm creative. I am one of a kind. I am a great basketball player. I am woman. I am black.
oh black girl, oh black queen, oh black pearl, black mother, oh black woman, oh black saint, oh black daughter, black essence, black pain, black pain, oh blackness, oh black shadow, oh black girl, oh black queen, oh black pearl, black mother, oh black girl, oh black queen, oh black pearl,
black mother. Oh, black woman, oh, black saint, oh, black daughter, black essence, black pain, black pain. Oh, blackness, oh, black shadow, oh, black girl, oh, black queen, oh, black pearl, black mother.